up, guys? Welcome back to Spoiled Rotten TV. Got another reaction video for you guys, and we're on Ben Shapiro again, and this topic right here is something I've wanted to hear him talk about for quite some time. Obviously, I missed it when he originally dropped the video, but I'm doing it now, so let's get right into this. It's definitely a huge topic. Everyone's been talking about this on YouTube. Even H3 Productions, they did their own segment on it, which is hilarious. I don't know if you saw it yet, but definitely go check it out. But Ben's going to come at it from a completely different direction. And if you haven't seen Ben go on like a rant before, it's going to be ridiculously good. Well, depending on your viewpoint, you might hate it. So if you're not into hearing different opinions, I would definitely not recommend you watch the video. I try to say this in all the videos with Ben in it because, like I said, he's a very controversial person, and he doesn't care what you think, so he just says whatever is on his mind. So we're just gonna start this from the beginning. Thank you guys so much for watching.
The other thing that came out over the last couple of days is, of course, this insane video from MTV. So MTV released a video of a bunch of people who you would never want to associate with in real life. Like people who, you just look at them and how smug and self-satisfied they are, and you think, I would not want to be within 100 miles of these folks. MTV released a video of resolutions for white guys for 2017. They're telling you what your resolutions should be, because there's nothing more ideologically fascistic than telling other people what they should aspire to be in the coming year. Here's MTV informing you. Remember when MTV used to put on music videos? Remember that? Yeah, not anymore. This is what it is now.
It's about to be a new year, and there's a few things we think you could do a little bit better in 2017.
First off, try to recognize that America was never great for anyone who wasn't a white guy.
Can we all just agree that Black Lives Matter isn't the opposite of All Lives Matter?
Okay, so, sorry, Austin is running back and forth to TV screen to computer. It's amusing to watch. I'm going to continue this pattern. I love that the first gal gets up and says, can we agree America was never great for anyone who wasn't a white male? No, we can't agree on that at all. As a Jew, with ancestors who were Jews, I can pretty much agree America's the greatest country that God ever created. And by the way, for black people living in today's America, America's the greatest country that God ever created. And even during Jim Crow, America was a much better country for black people than the vast majority of countries around the world, which is not a case in favor of Jim Crow, God forbid. But to suggest that America was never great for anybody except white men is just a bunch of crap. I mean, how about white women, by the way? White women have had it better in America than any place else on earth. I mean, America is heaven for white women. I mean, white women now earn more than white men. White women are going to college at a higher rate than white men. Even in the supposedly horrific, terrible, horrible, terrible 50s, women were actually pretty happy, if you look at the polls, of female satisfaction, because they were living in a prosperous country. And what a bunch of nonsense. And then this woman says, can we just agree that Black Lives Matter doesn't just mean Black Lives Matter? All Lives Matter is not a response to Black Lives Matter. No, because the entire Black Lives Matter movement is predicated on the notion that black lives are specifically under different assault than other lives in the United States by white people, and that is not true. And then I do love the fact that where they go next in this MTV video is they say, Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter is not a proper response to Black Lives Matter, because of course all lives matter, but we're just talking about black lives now. And then the next thing they say is that not all lives matter.
Black lives just matter. There's no need to overcomplicate it.
Also, Blue Lives Matter isn't a thing.
Cops weren't born with blue skin, right? I mean, yeah, they weren't born blue.
Stop bragging about being woke. Stop saying woke.
Learn what mansplaining is, and then stop doing it.
Oh, and if you're a judge, don't prioritize the well-being of
Making Austin run back and forth is really amusing. Okay, so don't use woke. Okay, how about you stop using woke? It's obnoxious and no one knows what the hell you're talking about. Yeah, oh, you're woke. Woke to what? Did you awake? Did you wake up? What? Why are you using a passive verb in place of an active one? In any case, I do love the idea. Don't use woke. Also, stop mansplaining to us. Stop mansplaining to us. Mansplaining is the stupidest word that anyone ever created, mansplaining. Okay, it's called an explanation. If a man is doing it and it is worthwhile, that does not mean that he's doing it as a man. Okay, men used to have a word for women's splaining. It was called nagging. Okay, this routine. But
You laughing at that one.
it's just it's such silliness. Continue it, because these people desperately. This is Donald Trump's re-election ad right here, and it's fun to watch.
An Ivy League athlete over the woman he assaulted.
We all love Beyonce. And yeah, she's black, so of course she cares about black issues. I'm talking to you, Fox News.
Feel free to take Kanye West, though. You guys can have him.
You know what you did, Kanye.
Nobody who has black friends says that they have black friends.
And just because you have black friends doesn't mean you're not racist. You can be racist with black friends.
Look, guys, we know nobody's perfect.
But honestly, you could do a little better in 2017.
Some of you guys do a great job. Some of you don't.
Please, because 2016 is bad. 2017 can't be worse than this, all right? Because this is bad.
Okay, I'm gonna listen to the black guy with the cat on his shirt telling me about what it means to be a better person because he's a black guy with a cat on his shirt. That's basically what this comes down to, right? I mean, this video comes down to it's a bunch of not white males lecturing white males, and that's okay because they have moral superiority because they're not white males. Here's my question: what do these people actually do? Does anyone know any of these people? I don't know any of these people. I don't know them from Adam. I don't care what color they are or what their sex is. It doesn't matter to me. Do they do decent things? I mean, for all I know, these people, there's a series of axe murderers that went to San Quentin and dragged out of prison to lecture white males. The idea that these folks are granted some extra legitimacy because of their color or because of their sex, what a bunch of absolute nonsense. I also love the fact, there's an irony to the fact that you have the one guy saying, just because you don't say you have black friends, that doesn't mean that you're not a racist. And then this entire video is built around the concept that because they're showing a bunch of black people, showing some black people and some Hispanic people, some Asian people, because they're showing various diverse people, that means they can be racist against white people. Right? So there's a certain irony to that as well. But again, all of this is designed not to win elections. It is designed to further polarize the population. They think that demographically, in the next election cycle, they're going to have some advantages because they think that by 2020, millennials will represent people who are currently millennials, will represent 40% of the voting base. They think that the Hispanic base is going to grow. They think that they're just going to out-demographics the rest of the United States. But it turns out that that's not how politics works. As late as 2 years ago, Democrats were saying we'd never win. Well, 6 months ago, Democrats were saying Republicans would never win another presidential election. In 2008, their idea was Republicans would never win back Congress. By 2010, they had. People are people. They have ideas. Their brains function. And they're not just a set of physical characteristics on the outside. And so you can't just suggest that white people are bad and everybody else is good and then hope to win elections. That's not how any of this works. But again, Democrats don't know this, and so they keep doubling down on the stupid. One of the more amusing sites over the...
All right, so I like the way he handled that. He didn't get too upset. I was really expecting him to just snap. But he took that, with... took that blow like a man. I really appreciate him not snapping, because a lot of other YouTubers just went ham. They just started screaming and yelling and ranting like, this is the worst thing that ever happened in human history. But obviously MTV is just trolling. They're trying to find a way to get as many views as possible, and obviously hating on white people is the new trend or whatever. And this is the way it is now. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think that MTV was justified in making that? Or I understand, not justified because, freedom of speech and everything. Do you think that it was right for them to make that, especially, in today's, form of media or today's community? Is it okay for them to make that, targeting a specific group of people and demonizing them because of what happened in the past, and obviously still happens today, but I don't think it's as bad as it was before. In my opinion, 2017, being alive in America in 2017 is like the best thing in the world. We can't complain about too many things, but obviously MTV is trying to find something to target and obviously gain as many supporters as they possibly can. Probably teenagers who don't know anything about the world yet. That's probably what they're going for. But yeah, this is my 2 cents. I'm not going to go into a tirade or a rant. Like I said, like I always say, let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as I always say, keep it civil, guys. Please don't use this video as an excuse to start trolling each other. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. All right, peace.